Hello everyone, welcome to episode 6 of my GT3 mini-series. This week we're racing in the Fanatec GT3 challenge at Zolder. It's my first time racing here, and as I did not have a lot of time to practice, I had to learn the track on the fly. For this reason, I'm a bit off the pace. The strength of field is 2083, so I know that this race is gonna be quite challenging, all things considered. However, there is something to gain here because currently my safety rating is 2.92. If I can get it above 3.0, I will be eligible for promotion to A class at the end of the season. So my strategy for this race, guys, is to try and keep it as safe as possible so that I can build a safety rating margin that will hopefully last me until the end of the season so that I can achieve promotion. To achieve this, obviously, I need to stay out of trouble, but that is very challenging at Zolder. There are 3 chicanes on this track, and most of the corners are 90-degree corners, which means that there is a very high potential for carnage. But hey, that does not mean that I want to compromise on potential iRating gains in this race. So I did qualify and we're gonna be starting in P10. Just a quick reminder, guys, if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking and subscribing. And alright guys, we're about to go green here at Zolder. It's gonna be a difficult race, guys, because I'm about half a second off the pace and there's multiple very dangerous corners here. We're not... Oh, here we go. And this man in GT3R ahead of me got caught sleeping. But we're not gonna be able to do much. We just have to stay in line, take it nice and easy, get through the first corner. We're 3 wide. Gonna have to try and hold it in line. Might take the inside line here for this corner, get back in line with everyone else, avoid anyone else dive bombing me here. Ooh! Oh, and we really had to slow down there, and that's what I mean here at Zolder. There's 3 very slow chicanes, and it's going to make racing here very difficult. It's gonna be difficult to overtake. Hopefully pick up some freebies. Hopefully get a couple overtakes. Someone's off. And that's our first victim for today. I had a pretty terrible exit coming out of the corner. I was trying to focus on the car that left the track, but the race is still in very early stages and there's guys fighting ahead. So let's just focus. Oh, and someone's off. Oh, just managed to dodge him. Alright guys, let's check out some incidents from lap 1. Josh Booth was the first victim we encountered. He unfortunately loses the rear of his car as he's exiting the last corner of the lap. Fortunately, he manages to rejoin without any problems. This is JM Quesada. Unfortunately, a little bit of contact with the number 6 Porsche ahead of him also sends him into a spin. Once again, he manages to rejoin the track without any problems. Okay, back to the live action. It's lap 2 and we're currently in P9. There's a slow car here. The number 10, we're not sure exactly why that can be. Probably has damage. Another freebie. Let's keep going, guys. Let's see what happened here and why this driver was slowing down. So the driver in question is Jimenez in the blue Porsche. So as you can see, he was simply slowing down, letting everyone pass. So my thought was maybe he has a slowdown penalty, although I'm not sure where he would have gotten it because his lap prior to this was clean. So I went back in time and I actually discovered that during the formation lap he had this shunt. which, as you can see, completely damaged the nose of his car. That is gonna give you major disadvantages when it comes to speed and aerodynamics. My guess is that his car became unbearable to drive due to the lack of downforce, and for this reason I think he decided to slow down and bring the car to a stop. One lap later, he retired from the race. Alright, back to the live action, we're sitting in P8. I have a feeling this is gonna be one of those war of attrition races, where it's not really about overtaking people on track. Oh, a bit too much oversteer. But more about overtaking people by putting pressure on them and forcing them to make mistakes. So basically, whoever can stay more concentrated, whoever's more consistent and mentally stronger, wins the war of attrition. It's all about concentration. It's all about avoiding mistakes. My hope is that the guys ahead get in a bit of a fight. P3 and P4 are very close to each other. Just about 2/10 away from each other. Hopefully a battle erupts down there and the pack gets closer, we can take advantage of some scraps. Oh, and I'm wide. I made a mistake there. My first big mistake this race. With Boover putting a lot of pressure behind, it's getting more and more challenging. And looks like he got me. We're gonna have to tuck in behind there. Unfortunately, I paid for my mistake immediately there. Alright, let's take a quick look at what happened there. Unfortunately, after 6 laps of me being very consistent, I make one mistake, and that's all it takes to lose the position. The Boover behind had been putting a ton of pressure on me, and unfortunately, I got a little bit nervous and ended up crumbling. After my mistake, he had a lot of overspeed on me, so he got alongside and managed to overtake me easily. I could have probably fought a little harder, but I thought better of it. We would have probably just both lost a lot more time. Despite this, not all is lost. We're still in P9 and have only accumulated 1x, so I can still gain a lot of safety rating and iRating if I keep consistent until the end of the race. Back to the live action in lap 8, and we're sitting in P9. Unfortunately, at this point in time, there is not much else that we can do other than just putting pressure on Boover behind. And hoping that he messes up, as we're relatively pegged in terms of pace, and there aren't really straights that are long enough or significant enough, I think, to be able to draft. And unfortunately, if I don't step up my pace in the first sector, chances are Boover and Illingworth ahead are going to pull away. So over the course of the next 4 laps, I tried to catch up with Boover. However, our pace was basically the same, and I did not manage to get much closer. However, Winkler and Stode behind got in a very intense battle, and due to that, I was able to open up a gap to them. So I gave myself security behind, and I ended up in a little bit of a lonely place for 4 laps. So we're gonna fast forward now to the white flag. I still only have 1x. If I can keep this clean record until the end of the race, I can get a baggage of safety rating. Let's see what happens, guys. This race has been so intense, concentration wise, that I did not even realize that the full 20 minutes has gone by. White flag, guys, last lap. let's try and take it home, guys. It hasn't been the best race, but a P9, considering that I was off the pace, would not be the worst result in this situation. And the run, everybody, we're gonna be finishing in P9 with the 1x iRating. And alright guys, so despite the fact that this was not my best race in terms of raw pace, I did manage to achieve what I set out to achieve. My goal was to gain as much safety rating as possible. I managed to gain 0.52 points of safety rating, which means that my iRating now is 3.44, which gives me a pretty decent buffer. Obviously, still 5 weeks until the end of the season, so anything can happen, but I'm confident that with my consistency in recent races, I should hopefully be able to retain over 3.0. And I can say that, all things considered, I am relatively happy with this result. Without further ado, I really hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you did, consider liking, consider subscribing. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, guys. And if you haven't seen my previous videos in this series, consider checking them out. They're action-packed. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see you in the next one. Take care, guys.